Sat Sri Akal, everybody. I'm ready to record my ninth episode on this topic, very complex and very challenging topic uh, because it concerns the entire Panth. It concerns our future. So that's why I've had to record so many serials to bring ourselves to the point where I can deliver the the final message that needs to be heard, that needs to be brought out into the open. Because until that is brought out into the open, nothing is going to change. I'm not going to able to promise you that anything will even change even after recording all this. The number of people who are listening to this are minuscule, but once these words get out into the universe, it may find some energy somewhere to start something, to start some movement. Energy creates movement. So let's hope and pray. One thing I owe you from some videos back is this little passage that is down here. I'm going to read because I kept referring to Guru Arjan Dev Ji's wish and prayer that Sikhi goes around the world. So the words here are Sab upar pasre e dhai. Sab upar pasre e dhai jim jim jal par so chikanta pai. You all know jal means water, chikanta is oil, grease, and Guru's vision was to have this Sikhi is here. You can see it, the words are over there, and it was his wish that Guru Nanak ne char udasiyan kitiyan. I don't need to explain anything more than that. 20,000 miles he walked, which translates into 25 to 27,000 kilometers. He didn't do it for fun. It wasn't fun, I can tell you. And he had a purpose in mind, and we haven't delivered the goods. Thank you very much, period. Now let's move on to today's topic. I wanted to explain to you why mainstream Sikhi today, is totally off the mark. It's totally off the mark. It is almost totally obsolete. What we have done to Sikhi to damage its progress, to stunt its progress, is almost beyond description. So anyway, as usual, because of the magnitude of this subject, I can't give you all the examples. I can give you some simple little examples here and there. Now, the first thing I want to do today is to talk about movies. Talk about movies. Some of you may be aware the Christians have made more than 500 movies. Hollywood has produced more than 500 movies on Christianity. And in almost all of them, Jesus Christ has been featured. No. Not the real Jesus Christ. It's an actor, an actor from Hollywood. An actor has played the role of Jesus Christ. One of the latest earth-shaking movies that they made, I think, was Jesus of Nazareth. Something Mel Gibson was in there, and The Passion of Christ. I remember The Passion of, and these movies were earth-shaking movies. I was in primary school when I started watching these Christian movies. Some of you who are from my generation, you will remember the Bible, the Ten Commandments, and Ben-Hur. We until today we have the DVDs of all these movies. Still, until today, I still watch them. They had that kind of an impact on me. What movies can do, nothing else can do. What movies can do, nothing else can do. And it is for that reason the Christians have made more than 500 movies. And these 500, every time they release a movie, there's a huge energy released all over the earth. And people start to crowd churches. Non-Christians as well are inspired. They go up to the evangelical events in America. They have to hire entire stadiums to pack the crowds. Entire stadiums. And after the 2-hour presentation and sermon and singing and hymns and preaching, They will invite people to come down to be blessed and to receive Christ. And thousands of people will walk down the stands and go onto the fields to receive Christianity. I have one such video as well. It's called The Day They Brought Down the Roof. The day they brought down the roof. It is a live recording of an entire such event. I have had it for the last 20 years. It's unbelievable what these evangelicals have been doing and what they are able to do with their ministry. But did we learn anything from there? No. We learned nothing from there. We produced a movie, one movie, Nanak Shah Fakir. The most beautiful movie that I have ever seen. Is nowhere near the budget of Hollywood. But it was so beautifully done by Harinder Sikka, it has become my nickname. Almost every night I sit and watch a 20 to 30 minute episode of it before I go to bed. That is my nickname. I enjoy just sitting in the company of those Bhagats of Guru Nanak and enjoy hearing his words, his dialogue. But there is no Guru Nanak in that movie. They wouldn't allow it. The guardians of the Panth would not allow anyone to act the role of Guru Nanak. So Guru Nanak is this white glowing thing that moves around the screen. Many years ago, in the late 80s, Doordarshan, the Indian TV channel station, produced a four serials of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's life. I think those of you who are from my generation again would recall it was called Ekas Ke Hum Bharat. And I remember when those days there was no internet and there was no way of knowing about these things, and the way we found out was by word of mouth. And those days you had to go and get your videos you had to go and hire your videos from a rental store. I remember we got the kids so excited. Hey! There's a serial on Guru Nanak. There are 4 serials. Let's go and get them. And they were so excited. They wanted to see Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And we went off to Bangsa. We went to a colleague of mine from Malaysia Airlines. His family was running a rental service there, and we picked up the first one. In those days they would lend you 2 videos. They would lend you 2 videos, and then you were supposed to then take them back, and then so at any one time you could only borrow 2. We brought them back. Kids sitting in front of the TV, also excited. We went through the entire 30-minute video of the first. It was Pai Lalo. I remember it was the Sakhi of Pai Lalo, the squeezing of the milk and the blood, Malik Pago. And at the end of that, we are wondering why my son was too young. My daughter is completely looking uninspired and looking confused. And when we asked her, didn't you enjoy this? She said, but where was Guru Nanak? You told me there was going to be Guru Nanak. I wanted to see Guru Nanak. And you know what it was? They had used the lens of the camera, and the lens of the camera was Guru Nanak, because Guru Nanak is not allowed to be acted by any mortal human being, neither are any of our gurus. So there was this camera wandering around here and there, and that was supposed to be Guru Nanak. And of course the people who he is conversing with are in front of him. That didn't fly. We didn't even bother to go and get the other 3 videos, because kids were not interested. In today we have put words to all of these methods of learning. You probably have heard of VAK, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. We learn through visual means and through auditory means. We listen to our lessons. We can put our headsets on and go through an entire lesson. Now, you as well as I know that over the last 20 years, auditory and kinesthetic are out of the window. You can forget about it. No one is even interested unless there is a video to it. Visual has become everything. People want to see these things. People want to see. People would rather watch a video, would rather go to a movie, than read a book. Books are also history. Books, you can't get anybody to read nothing. You can put even a one-page little pamphlet of something, nobody will read it. So this is where we are. We are in a world of visual, but Sikhs haven't woken up to it. They banned the movie Nanak Shah Fakir. Our heroes, our leaders banned, the Akal Takht Jathedar banned, I'm talking not about Singh Sahib Harpreet Singh, who I respect very much, but the previous Jathedars, they banned the movie. And this banning was done after they had given Harinder Sikka the permission to produce this movie. After he had produced the movie, they objected to certain portions of that movie. They said, we are going to ban this unless you remove these portions. So the poor gentleman went and removed all those portions. Despite that, they still banned the movie anyway. So the first movie that was created about our great Guru Nanak was banned by the Sikhs. It leaves me speechless. The stupidity of the community and the leaders. And there are people in the country where I live who were sending messages to each other telling them not to go and watch this movie when it came to the cinemas because it has been banned by the Jathedar of Akal Takht. I actually called one such person who was the leader of an organization here, and I said, can you explain to me? He said, no, Jathedar has banned it. I said, did Jathedar ban it or did Guru Hargobind Sahib's Akal Takht ban it? I said, there's a difference between the Akal Takht and these politically appointed Jathedars. Don't you know the difference? Of course, it became a conversation. Person was quiet, couldn't answer me, and I left the matter at that. There's nothing we can literally, practically do to make people think. They banned the movie on Guru Nanak Shah Fakir. And if you have seen do you know that now it's about 8 or 9 months since they put it on I think it's on YouTube. They've already had 10 million, 9.3 million views, almost 10 million views. That is how much the Sikh community wants to watch such movies. They want real people to act in those movies. If a real person like Mel Gibson or some such person who is an actor, come on, these people are actors. Nobody said that he is Guru Nanak or nobody said he is Jesus Christ. Nobody said that. He is playing a role. You know what an actor is? And he is an actor. But we have so much trouble with this. Nobody can take the role of Guru Nanak or any of our gurus. Come on, it's a movie. And you are supposed to use this visual, VAK, visual, to get your teaching out. To get your messages out. Movies are the greatest marketing that we can. Movies is the only way, not the greatest anymore. It's the only way to get your teaching out to the world, to your children, to your youths. But we ban those movies. And then what do? We create animation versions of them. We create Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny versions out of our great gurus, out of our great heroes. And we are hoping that is going to do the job. So now we are, it's not okay for a person to act the role of our guru. but we can make Mickey Mouse and it's crazy. We can make cartoon characters out of our gurus. That is fine. So here's these clumsy characters, supposed to look like our gurus, and we are all the six supposed to be inspired by this type of animation cartoon movies. So a cartoon di kaum bana deti hai. Now you go and look on the internet and you go and look on the YouTube, how many you will see, one after the other, animation after the animation. I'm proud of the people who are making those, and they are showing excellent skill in the field of animation. It's amazing, but animation should be used for teaching, for other purposes. Of course, you can also use it to make these little movies here and there. It shouldn't be your main thrust. You imagine the Christian world abandoning their 500 movies of Jesus Christ and now start making Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse Jesus Christ movies. Where is that going to get them? Nothing can move us. We are human beings. Nothing can move us like the emotions of another human being on screen. That's why we tear and we cry in the cinemas, even though we know that that person is just an actor who lives in a nice big bungalow somewhere near Hollywood or somewhere near Bollywood or whatever. But in the movie, I am not thinking of what that man is. I think I've made my point. This ignorance has to be dealt with. This ridiculous attitude has to be dealt with. We have to allow actors, real people, to act the roles of our Sahibzade, to act the roles of our gurus. Those who don't want to watch, thank you very much. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਘਰੇ ਬੈਠੋ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਦੇਖਣੇ ਹੈ। And when it comes to collection, the money, if we are going to say that we can't make Hollywood style movies because we don't have that kind of millions, I am telling you that if we were to make proper movies of our gurus, the money will come. I bet 25 million people in Punjab alone, 25 million Sikhs in Punjab alone. How many out of these 25 million people would have gone to see an animated, a cartoon version of Banda Bahadur, a cartoon version of Guru Nanak? How many of would have gone to see? And then we are wondering why we are not raking in the funds. We make animation movies and we are wondering why it's not inspiring anyone. We all go there, it's great entertainment for 2 hours. We come out the way we went in. But I watched Braveheart. How long ago? 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I can't even remember. And until today, I am still watching Braveheart, the hero of Scotland. Mel Gibson acted so beautifully. We've got the DVDs. One spoiled. We went and bought the same DVD again. We collect these classic epic. We need to start creating our own epics. We need to start creating. Look at our Hindu brothers in India, Mahabharata, Ramayana. How many times they have made the same thing again and again, and Love and Kush and Ramayana and Krishna, Mahabharata. The Buddhists have caught on to the show. Now the Buddha have got 150, 200 or how many serials, God knows, they have created. And somebody is acting as a Buddha, first as a baby Buddha, then as a youth Buddha, and then as a grown-up Buddha. Nobody has any problem. No Hindu has any problem with somebody acting the role of Ram. No Hindu has any problem, any people acting as Krishna. Only Sikhs have problem. when people act as Guru Nanak or Guru Gobind Singh Ji. The Buddhists don't have any problem with creating the Buddhists all over the world are celebrating. People are glued to their TV sets watching Buddha serials. But we will never ever have any Buddha serials or Guru Nanak serials or Guru Arjan Dev Ji or Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji except as Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse animation. So for the rest of your lives and for the rest of your generations that are coming, be prepared to watch cartoons. And this is our fate. And then we wonder why this, we keep saying that we have created the best product. In one of my previous messages, I even mentioned that after Guru Nanak, we do not need any more prophets. There's nothing more to teach. There's nothing more to reform. He perfected it. His message is final. There is nothing more to be done. We created the best product in the world. We created the best washing machine to wash and clean and purify this world. But we got no sales. Imitation products are selling million times more than our product. We don't have the sales. We produce the best washing machine. We produce the best automobile, the best vacuum cleaner in the world, but we got no sales. Out of 1 million, we sell 2 or 3 vacuum cleaners. The rest are from other companies. This is our status today, our position today. We produce the best, we have no sales. Even the people who are using this product are now abandoning it and moving along. Can't put up with the rigidity. This wanting to cling on to the 15th century, unable to let go. So I don't want to overstate this matter. I want to. Movies is marketing. Reframe our thinking. Movies is prachar. Forget the pracharak standing in front of the Gurdwara. That man can only reach out to 20-30 people. Movies is prachar. Movies is marketing. Let us develop this art. If we are going to reach out to the world with Guru Nanak's Sikhi and Guru Nanak's message. We have to do it very, very fast. Time is not on our side. We already lost 500 years. Guate, गए, बड़े जकारे छड्डे ते बड़े नगारे वजाए असी, कुछ नहीं बनया. So this is where we are today. ते मैं, comes to my mind. Banda Bahadur di ਆਪਾਂ movie ਬਣਾਈ ਸੀ ਨਾ, ਚਾਰ ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦੇ part 2, something like that, the rise of Banda and something like that. How many people went to watch it? Oh, sorry, before I even come to here, I want to touch on this. Nanak Shah Fakir. I want to emphasize the point that I made. You put people in there, take away Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse and put real people in there. In the last 8 months it has been on YouTube. You know how many views it has achieved? I mentioned already just now. It is today's account, 9.3 million views. 9.3 in just the last 8 months. 9.3 million views. If there are 3 people sitting in one family and watching it, it means you multiply 9.3 million by 3. If there are 2 people watching, you multiply by 2. At least 20 over million people would have watched that. Because there are real people there. And you go and look at the other animation versions. In the 2 years that they have been around, or whatever years they've been around, they are nowhere near that number. And if we start making these type of people where real human beings, real actors act those, look at Nanak Shah Fakir, the acting is so amazing, I just love, I'm not much of a movie critic, I don't know about all the finer details, but the acting was so beautiful. There's nothing that can be improved about that movie. It's just so beautifully done. I have no words. If I see Harinder Sikka, I want to just fall at his feet. If I see Bebe Nanki, the lady who acted, I just want to fall at her feet, no matter where she is, who she is, I do not know. Arif Zakaria has acted as Mardana. Oh my God, what a beautiful job he has done. I was coming to this about Banda Bahadur. We made a movie about Banda Bahadur, and as usual, no idea about marketing. Or maybe, I got to be fair. I got to be fair to people. Maybe that was their idea of marketing. You know what I would have done? Maybe you know what we could have done? So we made a movie, Banda Bahadur. So who went to watch it? A few Chardikala, a few Amritari types, like me and you, we would have gone to watch it. Banda is, if I was probably involved in that project, I wouldn't have made it into a Punjabi worldview movie. I wouldn't even have given it that name. I would have called it something, let's say, for example, the hero from Maharashtra. He was a Maharashtrian, he wasn't a Punjabi. The savior of Hindustan. I would reframe that entire movie. We have to understand marketing. First of all, if I would have brought in the element of Maharashtra and Maharashtran and not portrayed him from a Sikh and Khalsa and Amritari worldview, I would have attracted the 120 million Maharashtrians who live in India today. Population of Maharashtra is, I believe, 118 million. I would have immediately, the people of Maharashtra, their eyes would have opened. What? You mean one of us was the one who put an end to the Mughal rule? You mean it was not a Punjabi? Suddenly, the focal point of that movie would have shifted to Maharashtra. And if you would have marketed that movie as saving the nation of Hindustan and not into a Sikh religious movie, you know how many 100 million people would have gone to watch that movie? You know how we could have ended up doing our prachar to hundreds of millions of people without using certain words? But because we use those words, we end up tunneling the whole thing into another Amritari version of Khalsa's saving India. So who goes to watch that movie? Only the Khalsa go to watch that movie. Everybody else is not interested. But just by reframing it into a Maharashtrian victory, a man from Maharashtra, Guru Gobind Singh plays the role in the background. Marketing. It's the same as Ben-Hur. If you look at Ben-Hur, it is not about Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ only appears for about 3 or 4 minutes in the movie. It's a 3-hour plus movie. That is called brilliance. Whole movie is about faith in Jesus Christ. He only appears for 2 or 3 minutes. We could have done that with Banda Bahadur. But we don't look that far. We do not have visionaries. This is our biggest problem. We are not able to create visionaries. People who can look and see where to take something. We don't have that. We have historians who keep looking back at history and bringing out more and more from history, but no one who can connect the dots and take it into the future. We seem to have no idea about marketing. And we've got this huge problem, this big rock around our neck that weighs us down. The Lambardars and whoever are the Thekedars and the guardians of the faith who don't allow anybody to do anything. When Dara Singh wanted to make a movie about Guru Gobind Singh, they told him, "Maar denge tenu, we'll kill you if you put an actor on the screen." The poor gentleman had to back down. Dara Singh was such a famous, he was going to do it. he would have done it. But this is what happens. They will not allow this progress. And we have to take a stand to stop these people. We have to take that stand to reject these people. Go your own way. We cannot depend on these people to guide the rest of the world. As I mentioned to you, Sikhi is now heading out into the world, Latin America, Africa, North America, Europe. We are seeing a little bit of movement there among the local nations and local communities there. Not talking about the Punjabis who are migrated there. And those people are not going to be led by these people in Amritsar, sorry to say. I have no, I respect everybody, but what needs to be said has to be said. The people in Amritsar need to shape up. The people in Amritsar need to open their eyes and start adopting a universal worldview. If they cannot do that, then they must remain where they are and stop interfering and obstructing other people wherever they may be, doing whatever that they need to do for their own neighborhoods, for their own localities. So that is one thing that needed to be said. Today I talked about that. Maybe on a couple of other examples. I'm getting dangerously close to my limit already. Actually passed the 30-minute mark already. The other thing that I want to speak about is like for simple examples, like langar on the floor. We are still stuck with that, having to sit on the floor to eat langar. You think the people in Europe, the people in America, in Latin America, South America, and look, sitting on the floor is cultural for many parts of the world. Yeah, even in Asia. But with the kind of clothing that people wear today, especially in Western countries, it is not practical. Especially with cold countries. I read in somewhere, I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. I'm going to keep looking for it. I read somewhere, I've read it and I've got that book in my library, that in the 1920s or early 30s, the Sangat of Canada wrote to the Akal Takht and they asked for dispensation to introduce kursiyan, chairs into their Darbar Sahib, to their Gurdwara, because it was so cold in the winters, and those days the heating also would have been very primitive. It was so cold that they had to have so many layers on them that it was impossible to sit cross-legged on the floor. You could not bend your legs practically. And the dispensation was given. Kudos to the Akal Takht, one up on Akal Takht. That permission was granted to the Sangat of Canada, that they were allowed to have chairs in their Darbar Sahib. I am still looking for it. I can't recall where it is. If I even searched the internet, there's no record shown on the internet, but it was in that book where this specific case was mentioned. But today, we still, the Akal Takht Jathedar, I think about 15 years ago, came out with this fatwa which demanded and insisted we must sit on the floor and eat. As a result, there was fights in the West, Canada and in America. A man was murdered as a result of a fight in the langar hall, because he refused to sit on the floor. He wanted to sit on the bench and eat. Somebody went to his car. They get guns in America. They carry them in their cars. He pulled out his gun and shot the guy dead in the Guru Ka Langar. We are killing each other because of these ridiculous injunctions that come from our Jathedars, not Akal Takht, from the Jathedars. Sitting on the floor to eat. What's the big deal? When I asked somebody, I said, what's the big deal? Sitting on the floor, ਇਹਦੇ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਫਰਸ਼ ਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਅਖਬਾਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ when we watch the news channels and we see them being shown chasing each other with kirpana and tearing each other's clothes and punching and kicking each other inside the Gurdwara and the police dogs running after them and chasing them jumping over the Guru Maharaj ji ਦਾ ਸਰੂਪ and all that, ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਥੱਲੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਦੇ। They are the same troublemakers. These are the same people, the fundamentalists. They are who create the fights in the Gurdwaras, and these are the people who are insisting you must sit on the floor, and sitting on the floor makes you humble. मैं क्या ये humble लोगों दी निशानियां हैं? ये क्यों नहीं humble हो गए? सारी दुनिया ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ जितने पुआड़े ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਕਮੇਟੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਲੜਾਈਆਂ ਹੈ ਸਾਰੇ ਥੱਲੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਲੰਗਰ ਛਕਣ ਵਾਲੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਈ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਮੱਤ ਤੋਂ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਟੀਚਿੰਗ ਪ੍ਰੀਚਿੰਗ ਤੋਂ ਆਏਗੀ। ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਹਿਊਮਿਲਿਟੀ ਆਉਣੀ। ਦਿਸ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਮਿਥ, ਇਟਸ ਅ ਰਿਡਿਕੂਲਸ ਮਿਥ। In today's modern world, we do not need to sit on the floor to eat langar. Welcome to, if you want to, you're welcome, but don't obstruct others. If everybody has an equal opportunity, it's all about equality. Langar is about equality, not about humility. It's about equality. Sitting on the floor doesn't make you humble. I can introduce you to at least 20 million people who sit on the floor and eat langar. You ਮਾੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਉਂਗਲ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਾਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਉਣਗੇ। ਕੋਈ ਹਿਊਮਿਲਿਟੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ। ਇਸ ਭਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਨਿਵਰਤ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ, ਮੁਕਾ ਦਿਓ ਪਰੇ। It's sitting on the floor is not going to give any. ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਮੱਤ ਤੋਂ ਹਿਊਮਿਲਿਟੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਚੱਲਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਿਊਮਿਲਿਟੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਹੈ। ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਤੇ ਬੈਠਣ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਹਿਊਮਿਲਿਟੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ। It was just a practical way of feeding millions of people in a day where there was didn't have that amount of furniture. And first of all, you sit on the floor, you're going to, you have to deal with a lot of things. In today's world, the way we dress is not convenient. We have to take that into consideration. The other thing is in the Darbar side. We have reached the 21st century. Even in the Darbar Sahib, I remember in the 80s I used to talk about this and people used to become very quiet. Why do we not allow chairs in the Darbar Sahib? What is wrong with that? So at first everyone was in denial. Then by early 90s, 1 or 2 chairs started appearing at the back. First they said, no, maar deange. ਜਿਹਨੇ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਰੱਖੀ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਬੇਅਦਬੀ। ਸਾਡਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਇੰਨਾ ਛੋਟਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦਾ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਤੇ ਬਹਿ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਨਾ, ਉਹ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਵਾਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਬਣ ਗਿਆ। ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਅਕਲ ਹੈ। ਜੇ ਇੱਕ ਬੰਦਾ ਬਿਮਾਰ ਹੈ, ਬਿਰਧ ਹੈ, ਜੇ ਉਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਗਿਆ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਵੱਡਾ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਬੇਅਦਬੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਅਕਲ ਇੱਥੇ ਖੜੀ ਹੈ। ਸੋ the story started to unravel in the early 90s. First one kursi came, then a second kursi, then a third kursi. Then in a neighboring Gurdwara also one kursi came. Then another Gurdwara, another kursi. Then a whole bench came. Then the whole back of the Gurdwara is one big long bench. So slowly, first we were in denial. We cannot, ਅਸੀਂ ਮਾਰ ਦਿਆਂਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਲੈਂਦੀ ਦਰਬਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਦੈਨ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਪ ਬੁੱਢੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ, ਫਿਰ ਆਪਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਐਡਜਸਟਮੈਂਟ ਜੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ। ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਵਾਨ ਸੀਗੇ, 30-40 years of age, we are very strong. Now we have 70 years old, 60 years old. ਹੁਣ ਬੈਠਿਆ ਖੜਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ। ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ ਮੇਰੇ 'ਤੇ ਉਮਰ ਆ ਗਈ, ਮੈਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਰੱਖ ਲਈ ਪਿੱਛੇ। ਦੈਨ ਦ ਕੁਰਸੀਆਂ became more and more and more. ਫਿਰ ਵੱਡੇ ਬੈਂਚ ਦੇ ਬੈਂਚ ਬਣ ਗਏ। ਫਿਰ first was only at the back, on now along the sides as well, all are benches. ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਬੇਅਦਬੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹਿਊਮਿਲਿਟੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਗਈ? ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਜ਼ਮੀਨ ਤੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਬੜਾ ਹੀ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੰਬਲ ਬਣ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਉੱਡ ਗਈ ਹੁਣ? These are all the lies that we tell ourselves. ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਧਾਰਨਾ, ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਿਆਉਣੀ, ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਦੀਆਂ। These are lies, we tell these lies, we live in these lies. ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਦੇਣ ਦੇ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸਰੂਪ ਉੱਚਾ ਰੱਖੋ ਤਾਂ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। one Gurdwara I believe has very beautifully solved this problem. I would love to mention and praise the Gurdwara, but I don't want to get the name wrong in case I get into trouble. What they've done is they've created a glass shield, or they've separated the darbar half and half, glass shield or perspex shield. Behind the perspex they've put chairs. They have come to that point. We kursiyan to bina hona sarna nahi hai. The sangat is not comfortable sitting on the floor. If I can sit on a chair, my stamina can last 1.5 to 2 hours. I can enjoy the program because I am comfortable. But if I sit on the floor, I am tired after 20 minutes. Today's human being is not used to sitting on the floor. Today's human being is not used to. 50 years ago, 100 years ago in India, maybe wherever people sat on the floor, from the day they were born until the day they were gone, they were sitting on the floor. This was part of the culture. Their body was accustomed to that. We sit on chairs 24/7. So for the 2 hours we go to Gurdwara, we are now supposed to sit on the floor. Gode sataunde hai, tuhi sataundi hai. We are uncomfortable, shifting this way, shifting that way. How to meditate, I do not know. Why can't we introduce some comfortable furniture in a reasonable manner, ਜਿੱਥੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਵੀ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਵੇ, ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਸੁਖਤ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ, ਕੰਫਰਟੇਬਲ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੀਵਾਨ ਨੂੰ ਨਿਭਾ ਸਕੀਏ, enjoy ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ. These are things we need to address, and we really need to address. I have some solutions, believe me. I have some solutions. Someday maybe we may implement. I definitely would like to see these type of changes, making the Gurdwara more hospitable. You will bring back at least 30 to 40% of people who are not able to come to Gurdwara today because of all these limitations and discomfort, inability to. So we need to open up our Gurdwaras into a more universal type of environment, not another Indian Punjabi environment. So I can't say whether you see the point that I'm trying to make, but you will feel this. You will feel it. Go to Gurdwara this Sunday, sit for 2 hours, come back and tell me that you had no trouble sitting for 2 hours. You were in perfect harmony and you were in perfect meditation. Which is the whole purpose of going to the Gurdwara in the first place. Anyway, so here we are. Something to think about. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm only highlighting areas which we need to address. We need to address. As I said, that one Gurdwara has done it very well. They've split the hall. They put a perspex there so that ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰੌਲਾ ਪਾਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਚੁੱਪ ਹੋ ਜਾਣ ਤੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਵੀ ਸਰ ਜਾਵੇ। ਜਿਹਨੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਬੈਠਣਾ ਕੁਰਸੀਆਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਕੁਰਸੀ ਤੇ ਬੈਠੋ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਰਸ਼ ਤੇ ਬੈਠਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਗਲੀਚੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੈਠ ਜਾਓ। So they have come up with that kind of solution. There is actually a better solution than that, where you don't have to have that system, because if you have that system, I can tell you that is not a foolproof system, because ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਕੁਰਸੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਬਹਿ ਜਾਣਾ, ਰਾਗੀ ਮੂਹਰੇ ਬੈਠੇ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਦੇ, ਸਾਰਾ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਪੈਟ ਸਾਰਾ ਖਾਲੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਸਾਰੀ ਉਹ ਕੁਰਸੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਬੈਠੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ। You will end up with that type of scenario. It is not a solution if you want my opinion, because as a pracharak and as a ragi, I like to have my sangat sitting right in front of me. I like to connect and communicate with them. I have a video of maaf karna, I can mention Gurdwara in Tehran, where they were explaining how beautiful Sikhi is in Tehran. When they showed the movie, the footage of the Darbar Sahib, I couldn't believe it. It was all the Sangat. Now, of course, they are all elderly. The young people must have flown Iran long ago already. So all elderly people. So from one wall, from this side of the wall right to the end, all the guys are sitting there, and the back along the wall, all of them are sitting there. Then along this side, all the ladies are sitting. The entire darbar is empty. The entire darbar is empty. There's a line of people sitting, all leaning, and then the ragis are sitting in the middle and doing it. It looks so absurd. It looks so absurd. I couldn't even relate to that. I couldn't even relate to that. It really looked that awful. And the first thing that I always do when I get onto the stage is I will tell the Sangat, please, sare utho, come and sit right in front of Guru Maharaj. ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੈਠਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਏ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਕੰਧਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਹਾਰਾ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਏ ਹੋ? So this is important. I mean, of course, I don't say it in that way. It wouldn't sound very polite. But I ask everyone to come forward and be a part of the Sangat. Because it's awful trying to do kirtan when the whole hall is empty and there's a whole line of people sitting along every single wall. And this is our scenario today. But I have an idea where that doesn't have to be. Your back can be supported. You can sit right in front, and you'll be as comfortable as if you're sitting on a chair. So these solutions are available at the right time. God willing, we are able to implement this and encourage the universalization of Sikhi, so that it becomes a universal entity that is a one size fits all. We need to create a Sikhi that is one size fits all. It cannot continue to be this one size that only fits one community from India. Thank you. Sat Nam.